school you kind of looked down on yourself in terms that the women you found attractive, you were like, yo, she's bad.
Yeah.
We all like
We
in
all
sync. We're like, yo, brother, what do you see?
But for now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the O2 podcast. You know, a good thing about it's a good thing about today's episode is I have officially tied the record for most episodes on a personal podcast I've been involved in. So the next episode, I'm gonna have confetti flying, like nigga. So surpassed.
You know,
But
you don't even use your soundboard. You should send it to me.
I can't touch that yet.
What do you
Why
mean?
not?
I mean, it's technically not.
Wait,
mine.
we had a
Money's in there, but it's
soundboard?
technically-
Okay, but let's be for real. Let's be for real. Is anyone ever gonna use that?
No, we are. We are at some point. We
Send
are.
it to me. Let me use it.
No, we're only gonna use a soundboard for when we if we ever get in person and we're like when we're recording an in-person episode. That's what the soundboard is for.
Alright, bro.
Because what do you need it for your manual?
That's bullshit. You know damn well the only time
I wanna use a
gonna do this
soundboard.
shit in person.
We're not gonna.
We are
do
not
this
gonna
shit
do
in
this shit in
Miami.
person, and you know it for a fact. You know it for a
that
fact.
shit for-
You know
Gross.
that shit, bro.
If-
We are
if-
all in different states.
If we no, but for Miami episode in Miami,
No way you're taking
we're
the
not-
soundboard
we're
on
not
a
doing that.
plane to come to Miami for us not to do
In
anything
Frontier.
together, bro.
In Frontier too. You know
It's
you have
either-
to pay for
That is the
pay
definition.
for luggages.
it's either
That's the definition
Hold up,
of
hear
like
me
you being crazy, bro.
Hear me out.
You know,
It's
on
either
Frontier, you have to pay for even a carry-on.
Hear me out. I'm not taking Frontier.
Oh, okay. It was the zebra that
But-
was
Now, taking Frontier more than 3 hours is insanity. That's basically spirit.
Yeah. But it's either I have two ideas. We either record an in-person episode or we do like a vlog for the channel. Like the O2 in Miami vlog.
Vlog is fine, but
Vlog
we're
is
not
fine.
doing an
Yeah.
episode, and you know that for a
We're
fact.
not doing an episode.
Okay.
So can you just send me the soundboard?
No.
They're collecting dust, bro. I'll buy it for $100. No one's using it. You might as well just sell it.
I should reach this way and slap the shit out you. We bought it for $1,200.
Quadro, I don't care how much you bought it for. If you're not using it, it's basically $0. I'm giving you $100.
It's
But if
still
I
a
really want to
profit.
take my
It's still a profit for you.
no,
Basically,
actually no, I'd still be at a loss. My money's
How?
in that. More of $100 of my money's in that.
okay, but are you using it?
Currently not because I don't need it.
Are you ever going to use it?
At some point in time, yes, I will get
For
to
what?
you
For what?
for an in-person episode.
That's
What?
not gonna happen. How do you not, bro? We are all in different states. How are we gonna do an in-person episode?
Just like they say, walk by faith, not by sight. And I'm walking by a lot of faith.
So
But
why,
then again-
why don't you? Okay, but Quadro,
He's living in
wouldn't it make sense to
delusion.
send it to me? So when you all come to Florida, you'd be like, "Yo, we have the soundboard. We got a crib. Like boom, boom, boom.
When are we
In-person episode."
when are we coming to Florida?
What kind of question is that? When are you coming to Florida?
We're coming in August for the weekend.
Exactly. So
Concert.
send it to me. Let me set it up right now, and then when you guys are here, it's already done.
You just said, yeah, I'm not gonna record, and then we just opted for the
Shut
vlog.
up.
So why would I say
Don't pay attention to what I said, bro. Just send me the soundboard.
I'm not doing all of that?
I think we're going on a tangent.
But there's a I'm not even address the haters, but there's I feel like there's like a little bit of like ambiguity into like what this podcast is about. Like a lot of people are seeing it and they're like, what are these Mundem sitting here chatting about? I just chatting. So we're gonna
point.
That's the whole point.
Okay, let's keep it a buck. You gotta address the fact that you mistyped the TikTok because we were talking about cigars. You were talking about weed. You gonna type in weed. And
Everyone
everybody's
wants to
after
kill you.
me for what?
All right,
I'm talking about cigars, bro.
Okay. Let's see. too much hostility is not gonna get us anywhere. Let's
Too much
calm
hostility. No, you sent the hostility my way.
First of
I'm
all,
a victim.
we all caught the stray. We all
No,
caught
First
the
of
I
all,
stray.
caught the
no,
stray
no, no, no.
because
This is an attack by my own people because I am a professional smoker, and these motherfuckers are coming at
Shakir,
me.
people, what happened though? It's Quadro's fault.
It is.
Hold
He's
on.
the one that typed in the captions.
So let me get on here and address it. Since it's my problem, can I get to the addressing the issue? Y'all over here attacking me. Let
Go
me address
for
the
it.
issue. So first of all, the big elephant. People are like, "What is this podcast about?" All right, the three of us have been friends for like so long, since what 2013, and
Oh,
we finally we all from middle school. We've been friends through high school. We've been friends through college, and after college, we're in the professional world now. Like we could comfortably say, since little, big minded stickers, little, we're all we're all in the professional world. So it's like I feel like the point of this podcast is like to get the opinion of men who are just stepping into their 20s. And it's like I watch a lot of podcasts and it's something I don't see often, which I was like we'd bring a different niche. So, but it's not just our 20s, it's what we've learned prior to our 20s, what we've learned, what we're going to learn going through our 20s. And my goal is that we could be 60 and still be able to hop on here and like still be able to just chat. That's my goal. But for the time being, it's like us navigating through our 20s and everything. But with that being said, we also have our own individual personalities. Shakir, the Bangladesh warrior. Me and Kwazi, Ghanaian. We bring a mix of that. So it's a combination of just our overall life experiences that flows through the podcast and like everything else encapsulated. With that also being said, that comes with a lot of opinions. We have formulated our own opinions over the years, and us sitting there, we all have opinions. That's not to say we have the right opinion. And I'm only going to address this once because after this, I'm just saying what I think. And if you hate me, you hate me. We don't have the right opinions. The point I remember, I don't know if you guys pay attention to the TikTok, but there was one time I said something about this isn't the first time we've almost caught heat. What I said something about like what would happen if I brought a white person home and like something like that. What I meant to say was I was like, okay, culturally speaking, bringing someone who is not from my culture would be a little bit difficult. But the way I phrased it seemed like I'm saying I'm not bringing a white person. Like the connotation of that wasn't a dude commented and he was like, now imagine if a white person would say this, right? I remember I like usually all our comments, I try to respond to every single one. But I try to take like a diplomatic approach to it.
You
Like I
get
don't want
too
to. I want
diplomatic,
to.
bro. You gotta curse some motherfuckers out, bro.
you
That's
too
what I'm
sensitive
saying.
on TikTok, so I can't say nothing.
But that's what I'm saying is that I don't want this podcast to be like I want something to be where, like, for example, if I say something, someone can easily come in and be like, "I don't like how you said that," and we have discourse about it. Like I feel like that's how people like engage with the podcast, and you could like it's active engagement. There's no point in you like trying to correct me and not going to like and just throw a frank at you. That's not getting us anywhere. Because most likely you gonna throw it back and you're gonna be frank going back and forth. That I don't want to do that at my big age, and neither should you. So it's like it's different. And then the dude came and was like, "What if a white person said this?" And then I thought about it for like a couple hours, and I went back and I was like, "Oh, like you actually have a point." Like roles reversed. If a white person came and said, "I want to bring a black person home," that's not necessarily the wrong thing to say, but like because like roles reversed, I'd see how that could sound problematic. And we had a very beautiful discourse about it. And he was like, "You know what? You just gained a follow from me because of your professionalism." I remember that day I walked out of my house. I was like, "Wow, I did something for this podcast." It was like vibes and stuff like that. So we have a lot of different things. Some days will come, we'll read tweets, we'll read story times, we'll have all of that. So that's what like a little bit of nutshell about what like this. I want this direction of the podcast to go. And if my co-hosts have anything else to add, this might be the time. No crickets.
I'm just gonna say, watch what you put for your captions. You know,
And
because the context is key.
and honestly, like
And
this podcast is basically an excuse for us to like gather and like hang out once a week. You know what I mean? Because like we all live all across the fucking country, and like we don't really see each other. We text in the group chat all the time, but we don't see each other. This is like once a week we just hang out, like say whatever we want. If you like it, you do. If you don't, like it is
You
what
do.
it is.
And again,
no,
Professor, what's up, Quasi?
no, one thing we gotta basically like put out there. We're just speaking, right? Obviously, what's on our minds, how we iterate it. Obviously, there's always going to be a better way to say certain things, but when we're in the moment and we're just talking, you know, and we're not thinking about, oh, let's phrase it this way, this combination to keep everybody happy. No, we're just speaking, we're just letting our minds out. If we have misspoken, and we will in the future, we will misspeak, right? So if that occurs, yes, correct us. Fine, that's fair. Errors will be made, of course. That's part of being human. Errors will be made, but we're learning, and we're open to like you said, having rebuttals. 100%. We have our own opinions. Everybody has their opinions. Some people don't like smoking. Other people like smoking. Some people think this type of smoking is worse than this type of smoking. I mean, I could go out smoke crack. You know, someone that smoke weed will look at me like I'm a psycho because, like, yo, what are you doing? Like, but like at the end of the day, errors we made. Let's all like have the discourse about it and move on with our lives. You know,
That's what I'm saying. And it's like another thing I'm also like picking up on a trend, at least on the podcast. The reacts were fine, but on the podcast, it's like a largely male audience that interact with us. Let me preface this by saying this is not that type of podcast. If you're subscribing to us thinking we're about to get on here on some misogynistic stuff, let me stop you right here. You could go ahead and just tune out. These two have girlfriends. Mother and sister. Like, we're not about to sit here and just trash like women and like let that be the like, because I feel like every time I said, you said, would we?
No, do we?
We don't, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, okay.
I feel
just
like
wanted to make
we
sure.
don't, but I feel like I don't want
missing
someone. I don't want someone to come on this page and think, oh, another male podcast where they're seeing their issue on women. If you go over on the reacts, we're equally as harsh on the women as we are the men. We don't. That's what I like. That thing. Another thing I'm hoping the clip picks up is that like little things like that where it's like, and also to be fair, everyone that's on this podcast, the minimum qualification is a bachelor's degree. That means you have an education. So we're not sitting here talking out of her coochies without it. And I'm not. People might not like it, but I'm not. I'm not saying that makes us entirely qualified. But I'm saying we can be educated. So it's nothing that serious where it's like if we misspeak and you comment and you're like, you guys could have phrased it this way, you could have done it this way. We're more than I would love to see a comment and come back and just sit here and address it. Because to be honest, it gives us something to talk about.
Facts.
Like I'm never gonna turn it out. Just like how after this we have to address that whole weed discourse and see if we could I could cover some tracks after that. But that's our little disclaimer, and we're only gonna make this once. Like I'm gonna try to pin it. If you see this, you see this. If you don't, we're not gonna go ahead and like say that it gets redundant. One and done, nipped in the butt. Moving on.
To put out a picture and let her like everyone does when they mess up.
Oh, we all gotta look at the camera, mad sad, and then
No, I'm not gonna lie. Those apology videos are shitty as heck, bro.
Do you guys
Like,
remember like Logan Paul's apologies? Like, I've made a
I don't
severe
watch that one.
lapse in judgment.
No, so they're just reading off a teleprompter, bro.
My thing is the only reason why I don't take this apology video seriously is like, okay, like you could apologize, but if you're really sorry for what you did, there should be a change in behavior. Like I promise you, off rip, if you're that big and you make a mistake, you're gonna lose some followers. Not all, but you're gonna lose some. I feel like the only way you can either bounce back or keep it. Don't apologize. Just go ahead and make content and just don't make that mistake again.
No, if you don't apologize, that's kind of weird. But then if you do apologize, that's kind of weird.
But the thing is, okay, no, you have to know how to
situational.
You have to know how to apologize properly. Like a lot of the times, like people apologize and they don't take any accountability, and that's what like people have problems with. Because there are good apologies too, where like after watching it, people are like, you know what, he fucked up. We'll let it slide. But for the most part, people start making excuses about what they did. And then that's what like triggers everyone else. Like this motherfucker, he's not sorry about anything. He's just mad that he's losing followers.
I was young. It was back in the day.
I think the worst. I think the worst apology I saw is, you guys remember Sienna May? She like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my. I unequivocally deny.
No.
Times she was sexually assaulting brother.
You know. So like she was accused of sexually assaulting like some guy, right? And then for her apology, she did an interpretive dance. So she said sorry, and then she started doing some dance shit, wearing like ballerina clothes, and that's like her
She disappeared
apology.
to Hawaii for a while after that.
Stuff like that. I'm just sitting here like I can't take you seriously because you're doing the most. Right. So this is not even an apology, but I'm just gonna address it. I don't remember the comments per se, but I had posted a clip. And for context, when I post these clips, sometimes I've watched it so much when it gets to me like actually making the caption, I only watched the first like 10 seconds. So the mistake I made there was I watched the clip from when I took it from my computer, watched it on my phone. When it got to TikTok, I only watched the first 10 seconds because I was like, I was hoping I remember the rest of it. Didn't remember. Last judgment on my part. The conversation we were having was about tobacco, right? I thought it was about weed because it was in the same breath.
We did speak about weed too.
So when I made it, when the clip came, I was like, oh, that's probably where that originated from. Like, let me talk about that. I wake up, the most comments I've ever seen on we had like 12, right? 3 that TikTok deemed just they had to block it just for like because it was bad.
What the fuck were
right?
they saying?
So
Wait, can you send me the link? I haven't seen the video yet.
hold up, let me pull it up.
I think
Let me
we
pull it up
last I checked,
just
we had
search
like
it.
48 comments.
I have to search on my I mean half of them are probably quadra replying.
No,
Like,
I don't remember what video it was, but it was, I think it was one of our, and I was like, I woke up and I was like, I don't know what just blew up, but okay, I found a video. One comment was like, random people making podcasts never made any sense to me. All right. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, you don't know everyone that is in the world. Theoretically, isn't everyone that makes a podcast that you it's worth listening to some random person that made it? So I responded, I'm gonna put my responses up here. I'm gonna try to edit those in if you guys are interested. But I responded, I said that,
because I don't know what's happening.
but he made like a grammatical error, and I corrected him on that first, and then I decided to dispute it. And then
Quadro.
what? I'm
No,
not I'm not having a discourse if you're not really going to come grammatically correct. Because I don't understand. We both look like fool. You look like the fool for the grammatical error, and I look like the fool for entertaining you. So we just had to address that before I moved on. One person, the next comment was like to talk about something you have absolutely no experience on, and I was like, yeah, I believe that's how you learn. You inquire about certain things you have no experience on. You talk about it, and if you make a mistake, somebody corrects you. And then the person was like, if that's the case, can you bring someone in the video who does have the knowledge on it? And we do have him. It's just the clips.
You gotta break
this
down, bro.
Yeah. And then this one was kind of funny. Someone was like rage bait podcast. And then somebody else commented, it worked. I'm upset. The next comment, which was I found it so funny. Somebody was like, next podcast, there better be a blunt. And I responded,
that would actually be so funny.
Wait, Shakir, where is it? Where is it? You gotta go roll up right now.
I was like, I told him, I was like, we stream from different locations. The whole rotation would be messed up. And then he responded, and he was like, just everyone get 1/4 of a blunt and just pretend. And I was like, what? So for context, I don't smoke, so I would never be participating in that. But it is what it is. Somebody else commented, we don't need any more crappy podcast. And I was like, how else would we get new podcasts if we don't have the crappy ones? Like, let that one go. The next comment, this one was actually kind of funny. What I find so funny is that most of these people, when I responded to their comment, they didn't respond back.
Oh yeah,
so it's like, yeah. So I'm just like, you didn't come here to have a discourse where like, you just literally came here to hate, and I respect it.
They felt something in the moment. They loved their comment and went that day. Yeah.
Somebody else said there are officially too many podcasts. No need to listen to them. Gapping absolutely zero information and have zero entertainment value.
Yeah,
that's
not diplomatic at all.
Yeah, and I just told him, and I was like, we like our podcast, but that's what makes being adult so great. We can have different opinions and still coexist. Didn't respond. And then another comment I really loved was that somebody was like, weed makes you less agitated, eases anxiety, and makes you sleepy and can make you productive. And there's a lot of medical use for recovery and whatnot. And I responded with a whole I responded with like a whole.
You gave him a whole fucking like WebMD answer. Like
No, that's what I learned. When we took organic chem, weed was the one thing the students would ask about. So we actually like did a whole lesson on like what the structure looks like, how it affects your system, and stuff like that. So I know like the science of like what goes behind it. But this one, the reason I like this comment so much is because like that, and I feel like that's what the clips do. And people don't understand the clips are meant to grab your attention. It's not meant to give you the information or the context of the whole conversation. So if this rages you, realistically, shouldn't you go click on the video and see what is said before you come and like beef over a 20-second
people don't
clip?
got that
I
much
was so
time. People don't got.
but I was
that much time.
that's what I'm saying. So I was like, yeah, when we made that clip, we weren't talking about the people who are medically diagnosed, and maybe we should have prefaced that, but we didn't.
We
The people
weren't
who are-
even talking about weed. We were talking about smoking cigars, and we're like, oh,
Yeah,
if
yes, but
like
they don't.
we were like, at least like weed has some sort of like effect, like you feel something. With cigar and tobacco,
Cigars just smoke.
you're just
You
smoking.
just
Like you feel a head rush for a little bit, but like weed, you actually
but
feel some shit. You know what I mean?
but
yeah,
but
but it's the captions they went based off.
Exactly.
yeah.
The captions had
The
weed.
caption said weed. That's why people got more tight. You know what I mean? Because
So
no one's out
They were
here.
mad at me.
No one's gonna argue with you about tobacco or smoking tobacco.
But
Like
what are we
no
talking
one's
about?
that.
Like
No one's that.
THC drinks?
No one's that passionate, bro.
no, but that's
About
the
tobacco.
thing. No, but no, there was another clip where I was like, if you need a blunt to sleep, if you need a blunt to do basic functions, I think I didn't preface that by saying, if you're medically diagnosed, that's a different story. A doctor gives you like a dosage, you like it's prescribed, like the amount you're taking is like prescribed to help you do what you want to do. But if you're like self-diagnosing that I need this to do this, okay, that's where we gotta be like, wait a minute, hold on, we might have an issue. But that's neither here or there. And if somebody else is
I
like,
still stand by that one though.
I,
I still stand by that. They could come after me all they want. If you need a blunt to wake up, you need a blunt to. I don't know how you need a blunt to wake up because you're already asleep. But let's move on. If you need a blunt to wake up, if you need a blunt to get out of bed, if you need a blunt to brush your teeth, basically, if you need a blunt for every pivotal moment of your day, brother,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
brother,
Like, my thing is,
brother.
I've matured in the sense that like now I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you smoking weed. If you want to light your little blunt, just like if
There
you,
isn't.
when you want to do it for the fun of it, that's different. When you start depending on it for basic needs that are not medically prescribed, okay, now we gotta have a different conversation. That's my only thing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people where it's like they can't even like they get upset when weed is not in their system. And I'm just sitting here like what does that mean?
What are
Like,
you
you can't-
running from? That's a real
That-
question.
yeah. Another comment, somebody's like, you have to experience it basically. And then I responded to that. This comment threw me off and was like, it's not complicated. Problem with smoke, but like the effects, vape or make edibles. Problem solved.
I
No
think he
critical
means.
thinking.
Edibles.
I think he means take edibles. And first of all,
Bro,
anyone that's a real smoker, they all know that like taking an edible, the high from an edible and the high from
worse.
smoking are very different, right?
It's
Even
worse.
like
In my opinion.
controlling. Yeah, I don't like edibles. Like I hate the
It's
feeling of
way
edibles.
worse.
It's a much
That's what-
stronger, and also it's much higher in THC, right? It's much more concentrated. So like
And-
in terms of consuming like THC, smoking is much better. But like edibles doesn't have like the lung issues that like smoking does.
and he was like, problem solved. This is the part. This is his last comment where I think he thought he ate, but he was like, no critical thinking skills is what makes sense to me because Quasi had said smoking doesn't make sense to him. And I'm sitting here and like, first of all, you started off with vape, and you think you really have the critical thinking skills here, like I'm like, they're actively going on TV telling you to put it down, and you think you ate with that one. But then I responded, gave my science definition, and as always, with these people, most of them you're not gonna get a response. Because after I responded, either he didn't understand the scientific terms I was throwing at him, or he like whatever it was.
He said, confuse it with knowledge.
Like
Nah.
because if we're going back,
Shut up with
if
knowledge.
we're going back about if you're going back and forth about something, I'm assuming you're passionate, I'm passionate, and out of the blue you stop. I'm gonna just assume something I said you didn't understand, or you just couldn't continue.
Or they just didn't have time to respond, really. Because I wouldn't respond to you if I see, but if I see you throwing dictionary words at me, I'll just like keep it, bro. Like you got it, you got it. Like I'm
That's
not even mad anymore. Like
so
you got it.
that was like the video about it, and we get. I don't think you understand. Like that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I'm so glad for that middle school lunch table because there's no hate you could throw my way that table didn't already throw my way at an early age. I'm reading all these comments unfazed. I'm just like, at a certain point, I knew I was sick when I was on the train. I was like, if he really wanted to beat us up with that comment, he should have done this instead. He should have said this instead. That would have made more sense. This is like, I'm just like, it's not whether you hate, whether you love. Also, people, I don't think people understand when you take time out of your day to comment on a TikTok or to like it, it's pushing it more towards other people. Whether it's hate, whether it's love, it's pushing. So realistically, you're helping us. That video is like our top 5 most watched videos in there because people kept on commenting. So I'm just like, it is what it is. But
It was a big misunderstanding, but
big misunderstanding, and we're gonna have a lot of those on this
comments were
podcast.
entertaining though.
That was entertaining.
But we're just hoping you guys bear with us. If you don't, that's fine too. It's cool. Do what you want to do. But without, first of all, y'all peeping the new trim though,
Bro, I saw this shit yesterday.
and it's still
It
fresh.
looks old. It looks aged.
I went from getting 3 marriage proposals at church to 5. That's how I knew the trim was legit.
5 marriage proposals.
Who's gonna cut your hair like this in Wisconsin? Have you thought about that?
I'm gonna have to find a barber. I'm gonna have to. The town.
First of all, how's he gonna get to the barber?
No, because
we gotta say I'm gonna take public transportation.
We gotta let the preface this to people by saying that Quadro's moving to Wisconsin and he plans to not buy a car. Like, I don't know a lot about Wisconsin, but it sounds like a place you need a car to move around.
So my thing is, my only rebuttal for that, and that's the reason I'm going there like a little bit earlier than my start date to just see what it's like if I try to move around on a day-to-day basis, right? So I heard the buses, like 95% of the time, the buses they run pretty on time, and like first of all, let me also preface by saying, do I think if I had a car out there, it would make a lot more sense? 100%, 100%. But y'all act like we buy cars with water, like.
No, we buy cars with loans.
Yeah,
I don't have enough of those. Yeah, but that's I literally that's why I've been like pushing for us to record ahead of time so I can just schedule a lot of stuff because I know my first month I'm not gonna be able to get up there and do all this. I don't know how I'm gonna get my computer up there. I'm gonna just leave that in God's hands.
See, if you had a car,
I'm not driving 16 hours.
It's not 16 hours if you go fast enough.
You've seen how I drive.
You stop in the middle for a night.
Oh wait, I just realized I know who I'm talking to. Stop.
I don't. No, but I think
damn. So for the foreseeable future, you're in fucking farmland.
But I think I thrive a lot in those environments, though. Like if we really think about it, look at my track record.
Quadro, you've thrived in those type of situations because you've had people to interact with in those type of situations. So you don't feel like you are lacking anything.
And also,
you were going to be out somewhere by yourself.
You were still in New England. You were still in New England, right? Like, this is a completely different place.
Like, you're going to be out somewhere with no whip, relying on public transportation that closes at a certain time. Your time, well, I mean, obviously you thrive being inside. That's fine. But the struggle comes when you need to get groceries.
That's what I was saying. Because I was like, all the expenses,
or going to gym.
I have to go back. I have to go to work every day. I have to go to the gym every day. I have to go to groceries at least twice every month.
You're gonna be Ubering.
On top of that,
well be using that as your down payment.
Mind you, it takes me an hour. It takes me an hour to get to work by train. If I took a car, it's 7 minutes.
You don't math that, Quadro.
I have, but it's like I want to go try it out for myself. If after the first week or two, it's really not working. I am calling home and I'm like, okay, who's co-signing my lease to get a car because I can't do this.
This is supposed to be delusional, bro. No, you don't need to get a brand new car though. That's the thing. No, one thing I would say: get there and then just buy a used car over there. You know what I mean?
It'll be cheaper there for sure.
First of all, do you know how much money I had to spend to relocate? Like, brother,
It
my
doesn't
fund.
matter. You could stack. No, like you're gonna spend your first few months living off public transportation. So save your money
Mm.
and get a used car.
Yeah.
That from the whole situation you've laid out, that's like the most logical way to go about it.
Ibra said he'd,
Now,
Ibra said,
spending a couple,
Ibra said he'd hook me up.
no, yeah, but like they'll still you have to spend money to get the car to you, which is going to be
Yeah.
extra.
Because
That's what I'm
if he
saying.
hooks
Get
you
there
up,
and
it's
then
gonna
get
be in
the car
Rochester.
there.
That's gonna be a long
Yeah,
drive.
you're gonna have
No.
to still get the car to you though.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to. The car doesn't necessarily have to come from Rochester. They have like different locations. He will get it to the location most closest to me.
The car still has to get to you, which is going to cost money.
The shipping is like I looked it up. It's like $250.
There's no way you're
All right,
shipping a
man.
car for $250.
Yeah,
Oh no, shipping costs are cheap. Shipping
Really?
yeah.
costs are cheap.
Shipping
That
costs are
cheap?
cheap. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
Well, I don't know from New York to Wisconsin, but shipping costs are cheap
yeah.
because they ship it in bulk with a lot of different cars, and if it's already on the route, it's cheap.
Did you
But-
decide to stay with a roommate or you got your own apartment?
That I sent the pictures, but Broski's in a little one bedroom by himself on a calm thing, on a calm thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Furniture gonna kill
my
this
thing is,
nigga, bro.
I wanted to be ambitious and I wanted to get a 2 bedroom because like the difference between a 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom really wasn't that different. And I was gonna make 1 bedroom where I stay at, and I was gonna design like a whole set for
Oh, like an office.
Ye-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah, like a home office. But I was like, I'll just wait like 2-3 years after that. Like there's no need for me to rush into it now. Like I need to take care of what matters now. What matters now was me getting my ass there. So that I still haven't started packing. I leave in like 12 days. I haven't started packing.
Yeah, you be alright.
So what are we doing about
I left
this?
half my shit in storage.
What are we doing about this camera situation? 'Cause
Huh?
I could use the camera to take some nice pictures in Spain.
For y'all wondering, he talking
Yeah,
about
but like, can he?
In
this
España.
nice camera that I invested in. Mind you, when I was about to invest in this camera, I hit this man up one day. I was like, "Help me do it." He told me to wait. And if I was really a petty man, I really would have ignored his request. But you know, these days I'm trying to be better. But no, I'll tell you the same thing. Like you guys could always ask for the camera whenever you want. Like I'm not stingy with it. As long as you bring it back to me the same way I gave it to you, we have no issues.
Oh, of course. If I can get it before you leave, can I give it to you in August when we meet?
I don't know what
I'm
crack.
wondering.
I don't know what crack you're going.
He's not giving it to you
I'm
for that
giving
many
it
months,
away.
bro.
Because I'm also getting the lens for this tomorrow, like the prime
Oh,
lens.
okay.
Like, yeah, because the lenses I had were like all fixed rate. Like you couldn't zoom out.
Mm.
But I'm getting like I googled it. I'm getting like the best lens for it tomorrow. I got like a good deal on a Facebook Marketplace. But the reason I can give it to you is because I have to also learn how to use the camera.
Mm.
So I don't mind.
Can't you just ship it to him?
That's what I'm
when
saying. Like when I
Mm.
have
He's
a
around.
like I'll have by the time you go on the trip, I'll have like a bag and everything for it. So I'll just
Okay.
put it in a box and I'll just ship it to you. You just have to take care of the shipping.
Okay, I got that.
That's the only cost.
That's
Yeah, okay.
Wait, but how about the return? You got to
Oh,
negotiate that.
and the return too. And the return.
I'm not
too.
gonna.
I
I'm
need
not
to-
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to mail anything.
Oh, just go to the mail office. They'll take care of it.
Brother.
I don't know how to mail anything. Like I've mailed paper. That's as much as I've ever mailed. I've never
No, you
mailed
go-
like objects in my life.
You just go in with it. You go in with it sealed, and then once that happens,
Sealed?
yeah, like
He
you.
doesn't
box
even know how to do that.
it. He could put a camera. He could put
You
something in
just
a box. And
you just
like,
put it in a box. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll use
You
the
just go
same
there and
box
I
you
put-
send it to me in.
yeah. Literally, just don't damage the box when you're.
Oh
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, quite
And then like
literally.
just go there and you're like, oh, I want to like send it to the next. Do you have a return label? Do you or do you not? If you don't, they'll give you one,
Mm,
and then they just wait and you just pay and that's it. Like the process
Okay.
really is not that difficult.
Okay.
You really don't even need a return label for real. Just write the address on it.
You need a label. You need a label.
Really,
To
'Cause
track
I
it.
just go to FedEx and I just.
No,
Do your
to track
packages?
your
address.
Do your packages make?
Oh
it
no, yeah, the
into-
barcode, yeah, but like, you gotta get that by yourself first. They I just show up. I'm like, scan this, and then they scan, it, and then I leave. To be fair, I do have an app, so
That's
The
why.
thing is, at work, I send mail like every fucking day, but it's always paper. Like it's FedEx sent. So I don't know about like actual objects, how that works.
No. Hold up. Actually, we'll do that next episode. A different thread. I just clicked on our messages, and he had a thread about the men edition. Why did you hit her and quit her? Men edition. Right? Right? So I'm gonna read this my favorite one. This man said, "This girl had 13 felonies. I couldn't do nothing with that."
13.
Brother, I would have been scared to hit it in the first place.
Oh
13
my
is
god!
insane, bro.
Somebody else was like, post nut clarity. This woman didn't even know how to drive. I'm tripping.
Nah.
That's
I'm not. A lot of people out there don't know how to drive. A lot of girls out there do not know how to drive. They're like, I don't ever want to get a license,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
now some people are scared of driving. Some people are scared of going over bridges.
Mhm.
Like they could drive onto they literally, they literally have professional people that will take your car across a bridge for you. Like you get there, you call them, they'll come into your
Bro,
car,
they're
drive you across the bridge, and then you pay them, and then you go. Because some people are that frightened of bridges, bro.
bro.
Which is
What?
fair. Like
How do you live
you
life
could be driving
that
and the bridge
scared?
will cave in.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody
Okay. How do you get over the bridge then? Someone comes and drives it, right? You're still sitting in it. If the bridge was to fall
No,
apart,
like driving themselves over bro. They probably just cover their eyes. They will sit somewhere
no,
inside that car.
but they know they're still on the bridge, right? So
Yes, but it's different,
regardless,
bro. But it's
regardless
different
if
than
they
you
were,
driving yourself over the bridge, though.
regardless if they're driving it or not, right? What's the difference between if I'm driving and the bridge crashes versus Quadro driving and the bridge crashes and I'm in the car?
Because you're actively driving,
But me
bro.
driving isn't
It's like
affecting the
it's
bridge.
like bro. It's like you being scared of needles, right? And me telling you inject yourself with this versus a doctor injecting you with it.
But the thing is also, it's a different feeling
But I
with
was
driving than being in the passenger seat. It's two different things.
I'm more
Way different.
no. I'm more scared when I'm in the passenger seat because I'm like
But that's you.
because I lack control of my situation. If I'm the driver, like worst things that happen, I know at least I can control what's happening. As the passenger, I'm just
No, but
like
that's you though.
leaving my fate to someone else's hands.
But that,
Yeah.
but that's
Bro,
just
he's
you.
a professional that drives over bridges. What he's
Okay,
gonna do his
okay,
job.
okay, but do you not understand that like the fear of going over the bridge is that the bridge is gonna crash, right?
No, that's
Some
not the fear.
what's the fear?
They just I don't know what the exact fear is. I just gave an example.
Okay.
Like you could be afraid that the bridge will crash. I don't know what will make you frightened of driving over a bridge.
Okay,
But
can we
people
call
are scared of driving over bridges.
can we call crazy? Like
That's not
Okay.
crazy.
that's
I,
crazy.
That's
I
not
think, I
crazy.
think, I
That's
think it's a little
crazy.
crazy.
That's a little crazy.
That's not crazy.
Yes, it is.
I think it's fair.
No, it's not.
Your
So
fear is your fear.
we can
You don't know
agree.
how you got that fear, but you got that fear.
That's
We
not a
can
Are you
valid.
not scared of a man grabbing you in the jail cell, taking your booty?
That's a legitimate fear. If I was in
Now,
that
now, now,
situation,
now, now we
what?
going on a tangent. Now we going on a tangent. I tuned out for a minute and came back. He said, "Jill,
Yeah, I love
he said,
saying
Jill and
random
booty.
shit, bro. That's
He
his.
said, Jill and booty.
You
We
should
gonna
have
let
seen
that
your
go.
funny. You should have seen your face. You should have seen your
No,
face.
we're not going to.
You said
But,
what?
but men, why did you focus then? Why did you hit her and quit her? Men edition.
Don't even
Somebody said,
wife.
I ain't like how she was talking to them kids. Somebody said, men, why did you hit her and
Oh,
quit her? Men
man.
edition. She had a problem for every solution. This one sent me.
A
Somebody
problem for every solution?
she had a solution for every problem.
Wait, what? Isn't that
How
a
you
good
get?
thing?
Yeah.
I get problem for
Oh,
every solution.
I
Because
read it wrong. It's problem for every
that's
solution.
like you give a solution and everything you say she has a problem with.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that
Which
like
is
you gotta
quite
go.
annoying. Which is quite annoying.
This one, a woman commented and was like, reading through these replies is making me sick, right? And the person that created the tweet was like, twin, you got an OnlyFans. Chill.
Yo.
this one sent me. He said, "Why did you hit it and quit it, man?" He said that macaroni felt like everybody helped making it.
Man, what'd you say?
It felt like everybody helped make it.
She's like that macaroni
Community puss.
felt like everybody helped making
Oh,
Community puss, bro.
it.
yeah.
Somebody, man, why did you hit it and quit it? Somebody said she tried to eat my ass. I ain't going for nothing.
He got freaked out.
I was watching someone's what's it called? Someone's TikTok, and he's like,
Oh.
he's like, my biggest fear about getting my ass eaten is that what if I like it?
That would be my fear.
That's not even my biggest fear. My biggest fear is like everyone always says like it's like I got into this argument with one of my good friends who actually lives in Wisconsin, and she was like, "How do you know you don't like it if you try it?" I don't need to get shot to know I'm not gonna like it. Like there are certain things I'm like I don't need to try it because I can already foresee I'm not going to enjoy it. And for me personally, I feel like that particular in those festivities of this booty eating activities, that is a level of trust I can never give another human.
Nah, y'all remember what? I don't know who sent it to a group chat. I think Ebro or Kuso. The guy that was the guy who was dating the girl, and then his baby mom found out he was basically cheating on his baby moms. Baby mom found out what he was doing, and then that girl also found out. She was like "Nah, you wildin'." Posted a video of him getting his cheeks clacked by her, and then the third woman came into the play. She was like, "Nah, you got me messed up." Posted another video of him getting his cheeks clacked.
No.
Me personally,
Quasi, she was mad because she's like, she thought she was the only one doing it. She was hurt that she was letting other people do that too.
oh,
But I'm like a video as a man, a video of that like surfaces on the internet of you, delete. You need to delete Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok,
Yeah, you might need to
LinkedIn,
delete yourself.
Indeed.
life.
The only record of you that should be on the internet is you and your company, whatever company you work for, and even
Not
that you got to
even.
keep it brief.
Nah,
What?
bro,
Because
just Control Z. Try to Control Z as much as you can. Undo that shit. There's no way you're living with that video on the internet, especially Facebook. Facebook.
that's
Nah.
insane. Somebody was like, I'm gonna repeat the thread every time I say it. Man, why did you hit it and quit it? Men edition. Somebody said, with every article of clothing removed, another tatted name was revealed. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna preface this by saying, I couldn't be in cahoots with somebody I'm talking to, if like we every time, like for example, she had a coat on. The coat come off. I see a tattoo on the forearm. Right.
Jaden.
The shirt. The shirt comes off. I see a
Quadro.
tattoo. I see a tattoo.
It's
I
a
see a tattoo on
quadro.
the. What would kill me? What would kill me the most? You know, if there's a tattoo like on the lower back area. Oh yeah, that I couldn't do that.
A tramp.
I could
Nah, you
not
remember
do
what
that.
I said when it said "lucky you," but it said someone else's name? Like, oh nah,
You know what though?
oh nah.
Lower back, like tramp stamps, I think that should look trashy. But upper back,
Upper back.
like,
Like,
Wait, like
mm-hmm.
up here?
and I've always said this.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I will never personally get a tattoo,
Me neither.
but I find it attractive on other people. Like if you're able to get a tattoo that like makes and you're very confident in the tattoo, I think, ooh wee, you could be a 3 and you're a 10 in my book automatically. If you could rock
I
a good
mean,
tattoo,
yeah, if you could rock it,
If you can
yes.
rock it,
yeah, because
But if you're confident in a shitty looking tattoo, cut that out. Cut that out.
and this is the last one. He said, "Man, why did you hit it on Twitter?" He said she acted super, 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 super bougie. Got to her house and she had an air mattress on the floor.
See, I could never. No, you can't do that with me. You can't.
Like,
No,
sometimes I'm like,
no.
why can't people just live their truths? Like it's okay. It's okay.
That's crazy.
No, but
Like
and
I get having an air mattress and just like you said, living your truth. Just I'm not gonna go out
It's
and
like,
flaunt it, but like I'm not gonna act like I'm living. I got $1 million on me, just chilling, or like yo, I expect this, I expect that. Like,
nah, it's like what they be saying about
that's wild.
like LA baddies. Like they're
Oh
all
yeah,
wearing designers and shit outside, but then you go home and it's a fucking air mattress on
broke,
the floor.
which is
broke.
insane to me. Like nothing, and
You
again,
got
nothing's wrong with an air
prioritize.
mattress.
You got prioritize.
Nah, but fake it till you make it. Sometimes though.
Then we had that in New York, bro. We had people in the Amiri jeans, the Amiri whatever, and we're in Section 8 housing, bro. This is nothing
That is
new.
true.
This is nothing new. Which like it's always been like it's never made sense to me. But then again, as like we're like going up, I'm realizing I can't expect people to make decisions the same way I make decisions. Because in my head, you shouldn't if unless you're living in like some a good home, you have no loans and stuff. There should be no reason your shirt costs $300. You get a whole wardrobe of
Three
t-shirts
hundred
for that
dollars
price.
is crazy.
So
A
I'm just
three
like,
hundred
maybe it's just me.
like bro, living in the hood and splurging on things like that,
1,200 on a
like
Amiri jeans, bro. Pay rent. Like
hey, man, it's
Oh my god,
crazy.
you just reminded me.
you know what's crazy though? Those fucking Amiri jeans, like in the hood, it's always you're either really skinny wearing them or you're really fat wearing them, and you have no business wearing skinny jeans. It's I've never
That's
seen a
true.
normal like body type wearing skinny jeans in like the last 5 years.
That's skinny jeans. I had skinny jeans in high school, and that is a trend I'm never going back to.
That
I ripped through those skinny jeans. Actually, I ripped through them.
Oh damn,
that's the
I
worst
was
that's
fashion
crazy.
trend.
I was playing soccer in them, and then
No, I feel like they're worse. There's been worse fashion trends.
In recent years? Oh,
Oh, nah, I'm talking about like. I mean, what do you mean? What do you classify as recent years? Because I think back to like
okay,
2015.
let's say 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
2015 did
So
have
yeah,
some like the fucking flat ass what's it called? Rims on the snapbacks,
debates.
the Bape hoodies. Oh my god. The fully zip up
Harashis.
Bape hoodies.
What the Hiroshis?
No,
Harashis?
no,
People
Harashis
used
were
to be killing on them though,
Harashis were
but
that's
fire.
that
not.
shit faded out
Let's not
quick.
let's
No,
not
but they faded out
But
quick
those
though.
shoes were fire. I had a couple pairs of
yeah,
those.
yeah, let's not
Those
hate
were
on
those,
Harashi.
those shoes were good.
Hey,
Those were good.
I'm
Those
just
were good.
saying.
But all right,
I'm
broski,
just
Quasi,
saying, man.
close it out. Close it out with a Reddit.
I got y'all. I got y'all. So this one is r/ middle class finance. Married with separate finances. Is this common? My spouse and I combined everything we share: joint bank accounts, joint credit cards, joint everything. I personally know of 4 to 5 other couples who are friends with no, I personally know 4 to 5 other couples who we are friends with who are the exact opposite: his money and her money. One of them even bought a house together and only put the guy on the mortgage and not the wife, even though they are married. Some couples split up, like wife pays the electric bill and husband pays the car payment, or some other give and take method like that. I have also seen really sad cases where the finances are split, but the wife works minimum wage and the husband makes 6 figures. Mm. the wife the wife will tell me that she has some clothes that have ripped but can't go clothes shopping because she's broke. Meanwhile, the husband is swimming in cash in his account. I don't really see any benefit at all separating things out, but apparently it's more common than I realize. What do you guys think?
I feel like if that's why, and again, that's something I don't necessarily believe in the concept of what 50-50 is. First and foremost, I don't think anybody should be break. It shouldn't be 50-50. It should realistically be 100-100. You bring your best self, I bring my best self, and then we build each other from there. Say 50-50 kind of like makes it that way. In this regard, I feel like, and I feel like here, if you are in a relationship with someone, and let's say they make, let's say 100K to your 30K, you for sure can go 50-50.
You sure
So
about that?
how do you go
Uh,
50-50?
my opinion on this, I would say, is based on
You don't.
based
Quite
on the
don't.
way my parents have handled their finances, and like in my entire life they have never had any problems about like we've always we it's not like we had a lot of money. We always had like even like below average money a lot of the times. But my parents, like, they've never fought over money, and the reason behind that was because they've never thought about it as like, oh, I'm working, this is my money, and I'm working, this is my money. You guys are fucking married. Whatever money, it's the family's money. It's our money. We make decisions
I
as the
agree.
family on what we do with the money. Like, for example, my mom is much better with managing money. So even if my dad like makes all the money, right? He just brings it, puts it in an account. My mom doesn't even have a bank account. They just have a shared account, and my mom uses the money to pay all the bills that we need to. My dad doesn't even know all the bills we gotta pay. He just brings in the money because he trusts that my mom knows all the bills to pay. She pays the bills. Like, it's I don't get like this 50-50 shit, or like he needs to take 70%, she does 20%. Whatever
Like
they make, it's them
Yeah.
together.
that's
It's the
that's what I'm saying.
family's
Like
money.
if you that's my thing is like whatever, that's what I'm saying with the concept of like 100. It's like whatever money I have, I bring it to the table. Whatever you have, we bring it to the table. And then that, because also, and that's why it leads me to think most of the time people don't really marry people they actually genuinely love. Because if you really have to sit there and be like, you know what, we got to go 50-50, or like like we got to like pocket watch or do something. If your idea, if keeping the money is more important than like having a family be like together or something, you don't really like the person you're with.
Hmm.
That's my hot take of the day. Because you, and we've all been there. Think about someone you really liked and when you what it felt like throwing the money. The money coming out of the bank account, you didn't even notice. It was just here you go, here you go, here you go, and that like that's what I feel like that's what it should be. So I agree with Shakir. I love how your parents are doing that because it's like hope I wish I get to that level someday where my beautiful wife
You
can
will.
just go into the accounts and
Don't
just
say
take
you
care of the
wish.
bills.
You will.
Oh, I
Just
like
find
that
Don't say you
mindset.
wish. You
Yes,
will.
I
just
will.
find
My
a
wife will.
sensible person. That's how they would do it.
Common sense is very not common
No,
nowadays.
It's not.
and that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
well, if you pay attention to social media, common sense is not very
It's
common.
not.
Yeah. So I think the only advice I'll
But
give is that like you like it's not common. Like you can't call yourself a household and have separate things. That defeats the entire purpose. Because if that's the case, you'd have had two apartments too. You live here, I live here,
yeah,
and then
Exactly.
what's the name? Basically, watching your wife wear ripped up clothes while you're like, I don't know if this is true, but while you're swimming, while the husband is basically swimming in money, it's like,
You don't
oh
love
yeah,
her. You don't love her.
yeah. Do you
You
even
don't even like
what is
her.
this?
Like,
That's basically your roommate, bro.
yeah.
That's your
literally,
roommate.
literally, like if I marry someone that makes significantly more money than I do, well, because Ibra also brought this point up, I would never do that to myself. I would always make sure we're in like a certain range. Because I remember he said, past a certain point, they lose respect for you. And I think he might have been onto something there. But I wouldn't want to be with someone that makes significantly more. But in the case that she does make more than me, like, and we're like in the same financial tax bracket, like there's nothing wrong with like if she can cover the rent, she can cover the rent. If she can cover the rent and utilities because she makes the money, I don't mind chipping in on groceries. I don't mind paying for the gym
But
memberships.
but I think I would say, like, I get like basically pulling your money together in a joint account. That sensible, right? But the way I was thinking about this, like, you all know you all know the bills you gotta pay.
Mhm.
You all know the things you need. But obviously, we are all human. We all have like desires. We want to buy certain things for ourselves, right? So it would also make sense to have like for everything that needs to be paid, that needs to be take priorities. Like priorities, the joint account money goes there. For your personal needs and wants, right? That is not really a priority. You have your money in your account where you could take from, because you wouldn't want to conflict it where all the money's in one account and then you wake up one day, go buy something, and then boom, what we actually need the money for, we don't got the money for. You know
But I
what I
feel like
mean?
See,
that's where having a sensible person come into
exactly.
play.
No, yes. But like,
If you marry correctly, neither the husband nor wife, neither of you guys should ever make a financial decision that overrides what we actually need.
oh, 100%.
Yeah, so it's like
100%.
that's on you. And I feel like even that, like I wouldn't even want separate accounts for that. If we're together and let's say we have a joint account and you go and you buy something personal, as long as you can justify what it is that you bought and it doesn't go over our needs and we can afford it, I will never argue with you over that.
Exactly.
That was what I was trying to get
Exactly.
to.
Oh.
Like let's say it's the 29th, right? Rent is due on the 1st. Wake up, go buy a new Balenciaga. And I'm like, yo, what happened to all the money we had in what happened to the rent money that's in the joint account? He was like, I don't know. Like,
And
you like the bag though?
See, this is it all comes down to trust. Like,
Yeah.
you got
I would evict you.
you,
I would evict you. Like, no, but like all jokes aside, yeah, it comes down to trust and having common sense to realize that yo, this takes precedent over what like I want right now. Like what needs to get done needs to get done, because there's no reason why we should be scrambling for this that we basically need for comfortability.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. I think, and that's why these days, moving forward, I'm gonna be very particular about the woman I decide to like engage with and entertain, because I'm like, we're at the prime where whoever you date could potentially, that's who you're walking down the aisle with, and you can't be taking. I don't want to be taking any chances. Like my biggest fear is I marry somebody who puts on an act for so long and we get in that space and she goes and buys that Balenciaga, because I'm a trip.
no.
I'm a trip. I'm a trip.
My guy go fall to his knees. He's like,
No, I'm like, it doesn't make any. It doesn't make any. But that's what I'm saying. It's like I I want to be able to marry someone sensible enough to be, even if she buys a Balenciaga bag, that means when she looked at the account, we can afford that Balenciaga bag. And at that point, if I come, even if I'm mad at the person, and if I think the bag is ugly, even if I don't like the bag, and I come home and she's like, well, all our bills are paid, we have a lump sum of extra, a Balenciaga bag didn't even really hurt the pockets. God, that's why I hope my fantasies are going to get to that point. But if she says all that, you can't even be mad at that point. You could just, at that point, I'm gonna just hate on the bag, and rightfully so. But like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but it should never come to the point where like you feel like you can't. You know what? Next episode, that's what we should do. We should make a list of things that you should discuss before getting into marriage.
finance is 100%.
Actually, I'll make the list and then we agree on that. But I definitely think that. But also that this whole situation with another thread at hand is that. Did you guys see the thread that was like, this woman was like, she's not attracted to her husband?
No,
I've seen multiple threads.
give us a little background.
But this
I've
woman,
seen a lot, but I think he's talking about very some
Yeah.
specific.
yeah, this woman went viral because she got in a car and was like, I am not attracted to my husband. And I read that, and I read that on the thing, and I didn't feel the need to like get through the whole video. But then somebody else was, and I'm just like, this is why we're running into so many like relationship problems, divorce problems, because from the jump, you don't even like the man, you don't even like the woman, vice versa. So what are we doing?
I think this is an American thing. Like,
Yeah,
It is a very American
yeah.
thing.
it's,
yeah. Actually, no, I would like with the sort of like some arranged marriages, because arranged marriage you don't necessarily pick, and you might not like who you get with to.
yeah, of
So
course.
I think that would be like,
with American thing, I mean like where like for certain people they don't think about marriage like as seriously before jumping into it.
Oh no, you just think of it as cool.
but also
It's
another thing is
cool.
I don't think, or at least I don't think attraction is something that people take into consideration when they do get married. Like it's more of like, oh, I I don't know what actually I don't know what the men are thinking, because I'm not getting married, but at least like, is the man a provider? Can he provide? Does he have like a good job? Like it's, I feel like if a man is checking off every other box and he's not really that attractive, you'll marry him. I don't know though. This is what I've heard. But if like dude, man, but at
That's
least
crazy.
I feel like the
Because
opposite
that's
be
when
the
you
opposite
end
be
up in a situation like
the
that.
opposite be true
Because later
too.
down the line,
The opposite be
I
true
think from
too.
my
oh yeah, men also do that. They be
No,
like,
but I,
no,
oh,
no,
she
no.
bad.
I mean, yeah, the opposite, as in like even a woman is like, oh, he's a bum. He doesn't take care of his kids, all that. But at least he looks good, so I'm gonna marry him. Like both
Yeah.
genders think
And
like that.
then men will also do
Yeah,
that. They'll be
exactly.
like, oh, she bad. Marry her. And then later down, like, damn, she's zapping away all my
She's
money.
kind of stupid. Like
And now
this
you
bitch is
hating on
kind of
her? No,
stupid.
I
she's
think that
still bad.
I think that's that's another lesson that like we also like as we've grown up. I think we've all learned is that there are beautiful women everywhere. I promise you, that beautiful woman you lost, there's an entire ocean of them swimming that you can go. Now I'm not sure you're gonna catch all of them,
He
but
talking to
if you
himself
really try
right.
hard,
He talking to himself right now.
I
Give
can't have
himself a
I
lady
can't-
talk.
but the point I'm trying to get to is that like it's like I think that one of the best advice is like you need to start partnering with people beyond like the physical. Like it has to be everything else, and if you get the physical, that's like a bonus. But like
No, not if you get the physical. Because the what brought me to you was the physical.
no, but the
Now
physical,
we
the,
have to assess to make sure you got the other ones as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
You have
like
to check
the
all the
physical,
boxes.
like I don't think you
Not
understand.
all the
There's
boxes. Some
Like I
boxes
want
could be
there's
checked.
I don't
They
think
just got to have the mindset for some
there's
things to be
nothing
checked.
wrong with having high standards for both men and women. You
I don't think
should
women
have
understand.
high standards.
A dream of mine these days is I want my wife to be so bad. We walk outside and they wonder how I got her. That's the level of bad I need her to be.
Really?
Yeah,
Really? Huh.
I'm shooting for the stars and I'm hoping I land on the moon. I'm hoping I land on the moon.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sure.
Stand,
She might not be that
stand.
level of bad, but when I fall, I'm gonna fall in good graces. Because I couldn't post a picture of my wife on my wedding day and one of you men go down in the comments talking about as long as you happy, bro. That's
Nah,
the
ain't
day we
nobody
fight.
gonna do that, bro.
That's the
Nah. Why would I say that in the comments for the public to see?
that is the sick part. You would say it in the group chat and then at me so I can see
Oh,
it.
nah, that's your wife. I'm not gonna say that. I'll keep that too.
I remember
I'm not gonna
I'll
say that.
never
That's your wife.
forget
I gotta respect that.
there was this like girl that I thought was like I thought was remotely attractive. I remember I sent her a picture in the group chat, right? And then
Wait. What time frame was this?
high
Because a
school,
specific
high
time
school,
frame, we were all like, "Yo,
high school,
brother."
high school, high
Oh,
school.
yeah. No, of course, I would agree. I agree with the group
And
chat comment.
I sent it, and I remember, like, I don't remember which one. It was somebody responded was like LMFAO. As long as you're happy, bro. And whatever
LMFAO.
attraction I have for her just died in that moment.
LMFAO.
It was in all caps too, like LMFAO. It was an
No, but to be
LMFAO.
fair, to be
I
fair,
don't even remember which one it was.
the high school, bro. All I had to know was high school. The high school you kind of look down on yourself in terms that the women you found attractive, you were like, yo, she's bad.
Yeah,
We all like
we
in
all
sync. We're like, yo, brother, what do you see?
But I feel like my thing
And
is
you know it's bad. Like Kuso will hate, but Kuso give compliments where compliments are due. And if Kuso is like, yo, what, brother, what? And all of us are like, yo, we agreeing with this one. Like,
but
you
my thing,
know, like high school you was different, bro.
but my thing is, I think what people like are at least we've never talked about this is that in middle school, I wasn't pulling. Like I understood from a very
you were the only one pulling in middle school.
Yeah.
The fuck?
no, but like
If
but
you
like
weren't
I was
pulling, we were
What are
like
talking about?
we were like not even existent. Like
we
no,
were
no,
losing.
but like I
yeah,
Cut
watched
in half.
yeah. If you were
every
pulling, we were losing. Like
no, but everyone I went after during that time period in middle school, because growing up, I always thought I was ugly. Hear me out. Middle
It
school,
makes
we was
sense why in high school you did all that then.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is that in middle school? I remember because I was like nobody. I don't remember a time in middle school where somebody a girl looked at me and called me attractive in middle school. And the ones that were calling me attractive, so it was like it was like even now, like I get so I the other day I told you guys this. The other day I was walking by the. I don't know if I told you, but I was walking in the train by 14th Street, and this like lady just like stopped me and it was like one of those people that like stop you to like talk to you about some stuff that you definitely don't care about.
Uh-huh.
She was talking about building trees and stuff, which I know is important, but like in that moment, I don't want to hear that. And then she was like she was just blabbing on it. She was like, "Oh, one of the reasons I stopped you specifically is I think you're cute, right?" Immediately, I lost all composure. Like not composure as in like she could see it, but like I started panicking because I was like, "Why?" Like I was like, I started looking. I thought I was about to get robbed. That's what I thought it was. I thought I was about to
Brother
get
was
robbed.
blushing.
I thought I was about to get robbed. That's what I thought it was. Like I
He
started
was
panicking
flustered.
He
because that's
said,
what I'm saying.
really?
I was,
Me?
but that's not the point.
Me?
It's the point that I didn't know, and even to this day, like
Little
when people give me compliments, I don't know how to take the compliments well because I'm not used to it. Like even now, I'm when I'm like somebody's out of my league and you guys are looking at me like nose, like I don't see it. But I think it's still from those middle school days. They did some damage.
Really?
Of all?
To you?
To me, yeah.
You leaving out Amy?
No,
Not
she
really.
she was just she was just an abusive girlfriend.
No,
Which-
no. The fact that he went from Amy, posed to Cyan,
To Brittany?
I was like,
He was
no,
all
no. I
over
think
the
Greeny
place.
was before.
She was
Honestly,
he was before Shy.
if we speak about this, we're gonna talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
If we do a game breakdown of this, it's gonna be hours because you know,
Quadra's been messy since
like,
middle school. Let's
But
just say
the
that.
thing is, it's. I don't think you guys understand. I didn't wake up and want to be messy. That was never my intention. It was just like you would walk into you would walk into
but you
middle
didn't choose not to be.
but like for example with the whole like with the and I, with the two girls at the end of because Ebro wanted the whole breakdown about like what happened, so I'm gonna end up with that story time, right? And like even to this day I'm just like I don't know what movie I was in, right? So for the viewers, these I think these are the last two people that I dated, but we never got there, right? We I remember we went to what?
You know, didn't the betrayer go to prom with one of them?
Yeah,
Yeah, with Mafan.
I'm gonna get
Niggas should
there.
have peeped. Niggas should have peeped.
I'm gonna
Niggas
get
should have
there.
peeped.
Foreshadowed.
Clock it.
It was
Clock it.
foreshadowed. It was foreshadowed.
But that's what I'm saying is that okay? So I don't know if we can say names or not, but like I'm gonna just
Can
the,
you
the story's gonna be so hard.
can
It's
you
gonna be so hard to keep
Just
track
leave it
without it.
out.
Okay, say person A and person B.
We have but we have girl one and girl two, right? Girl one was initially the first person I started talking to, so it was like just she like had texted me a messenger and we'd like go back and forth like flirting like stuff like that, right? Literally the day she began flirting with me, the very next day we went on a school trip.
Hmm.
And we're going to school trip, and I think there was some animosity with the two because I think the first one, the girl number two had noticed girl number one has taken an interest in me, and then for some reason, out of the blue, the interest from girl number two just spiked through the roof, like spiked. Like we were going on the trip,
That's
and
how it be though.
she would just not leave me alone. And you know, back then, I'll keep it brief. I was very easy. It didn't take a lot for you to bag me. You could blow my neck, and I'm game. So, so,
Crazy.
so it was like I got the attention. I was like, I'm just gonna, and then like the day afterwards, like girl number two started texting me, right? And then girl number one, like we were still in communication, and she had expressed that she wanted to go to prom with me, right? Back then, I didn't even know I was going, but she just was like she wants to go. She wants to coordinate our outfits together and stuff like that, which is crazy because I didn't even have coordinating outfits money, but we're gonna let that slide. So she was like talking about that, and girl number two just came and applied pressure and said, "You want to be my boyfriend?" Now I had to go back to my pros and cons chart. And for a very specific reason, I cannot go with girl number one.
Specific reason you couldn't go with girl number one. To be fair,
Yeah, that's what I was
yes,
thinking.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking, but I just didn't want to assume.
yeah. So, like, for that reason, I was just like, long term, this is not where I want to be. This is not what I want to go through personally. So, you know what? We're just going to leave it where she is. We're going to go number two. Now, thinking back about it now, girl number two wasn't really like a girl text option. It is what it is. How Quasi got involved or how the betrayer got involved. Because
Quasi, how did I betray you?
you didn't betray me. I'm talking about you had a part to play in how that happened.
What?
Because the person you asked to prom is the same person the betrayer acts of prom. She just chose you.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we keep forgetting that fact. She chose you. So she choosing Quasi left the betrayer and left my girl number one. And then they decided to go. But at that point in time, I didn't really care because girl number one was never going to be for me.
Catalyst?
That wasn't that's a different conversation. Maybe on an episode 100 thing, like I'll really break it down. But but it's like,
you know, like in animes, the butterfly effect shit. Like, what if I really started this back in the day, and everything just cascaded, going down the line? Like,
He's been wanting
but
his,
we don't know until we pan back.
he's been wanting his get back all this time. He just took it out on the wrong person. He saw a Quadro. He saw a Quadro, and he's like, close enough.
The funny thing about the funny thing about how
close enough, I would do it.
The funny thing about how life works, and I always say this, every time I've had to make a decision to cut someone off that I was friends with, there's like a backlog of information that follows you after the verdict, which I don't know if it's just me, but I find so hilarious. Like every person, and I always say this, I am the quick, with the exception of like you guys and my family, everybody else, I'm free to cut you off immediately. But the only reason also, you guys don't do shit that requires me to cut you off. Yeah. It's never been that deep. So it's like after I had cut him off, I don't think I've talked to you people about the wave of information that keeps hitting and the wave of information I'm still currently getting on like situations where I'm just like, oh, like I just be sitting there, I was like, I should have seen this coming from a mile away. Like Stevie Wonder should have seen this coming from a mile away. That's how bad it is.
Give an example of something you've heard.
Not something I've heard, but like one
or something you clocked like after
something I clocked was that like it was like, I don't know if he felt threatened or what it was, but there was a very common trend of like he would always try to put me right below him. I don't know if it was he did some, because I remember, and it was this one comment that did it for me where we were like comparing what superheroes we would be if it came to it, and he was like he'd be All Might and I'd be Endeavor. And I was like, I was like, time out, like what does that mean? Because I remember at that point I was watching My Hero, and I was like, it was the very scene where Endeavor was giving the monologue about how he tried so hard to catch up to All Might, and then but he just the harder he tried, the more he saw the distance between the two of them. So in my head, I remember that was the first like little thing where I was like, there's no way you just went and met it and said that.
Bro said, you will never be the number one hero.
But in my head, I was like, it's never been about who was number one, number two. Like, I feel like you succeeded you succeeded very well what you did, and I had my wins too. Like, it's like,
nah, to be fair, honestly, I would say you can't, I don't know if you clocked it, but you kind of, I don't know. When you guys were in your body summer fitness photo phase, you should have clocked something.
No, I clocked it.
You should have clocked competition.
Mm-hmm. I could have clocked.
You should have clocked the competition.
Like, you know what I find so hilarious about that phase of the summer, where the summer I finally beat him. The summer you could definitely tell somebody was in the gym that summer, somebody was not. He didn't take the picture.
Should have clocked it
because I remember the first year when we took it, it was like, oh my god, we took it, and literally every person I knew would walk up to me and be like, "You look good, but who's your friend though?" Like, like I don't think you understand. There's nothing.
Person wouldn't post the pictures either. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
There's nothing more demoralizing than taking a picture with somebody else and having like it's. And this was there's a word we used to juxtaposition. That's the technique he was using, because you're like by yourself, you're not that good until you stand next to somebody else. And then when people, they're like, and I remember that summer, I looked at myself and I said, I'd rather get shot in the throat than post another picture than to do this myself. Kept it real brief. I remember because I want to lie, when we started working out, he was somebody I looked up to, because give credit where credit's due, the physique was insane. So I was always like, every time I worked out, I was like, this is the goal I want to be at, right? And that's also another thing I shouldn't have done, is that like I was gonna get to where I am right now regardless without any of that. So it was like that was very necessary. But I remember and it was the summer heading into our senior year. Like I was there. We did a side by side comparison, and I think the only thing he had was like maybe like it was the abs. The abs you couldn't replicate that. That was it. But the chest, the shoulders, the arm, everything else he was getting beat. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not taking that picture." He's like, "Yeah, I'm not taking it." And I was like, "Damn."
Yeah.
Damn, you couldn't take the pictures yourself?
I did.
Oh, okay.
It was the most recent one before I got off Instagram.
Ah. I'm not even on that either. Damn. What am I on? YouTube Shorts.
We hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Again, we're really trying to be consistent week in, week out. We're going to try to get in here and make something shake.
Make something
That's what
shake
it is.
indeed.
So
We'll catch you on the flip side.
we'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.